about the CPD team and the work we've been engaged in since we started in 2004. At the beginning, a very clear backdrop to our work was the teaching profession for the 21st century, which laid all sorts of new challenges out around how teachers might develop their skills and their professionality. And the first action that we took within the team really was to think about the power of a network. So we set out to build the network. Our network is quite different from other networks, we think. It's a very powerful group of people, and we think of it as a kind of ecosystem of people feeding in and feeding out, all sorts of events happening that we are aware of and some that we don't know about, and it's a very healthy and thriving community. As part of the network, however, it became clear that we needed to develop some shared values around how we worked and what we did and what our main purposes were. And these still shape and influence all the work that we do. They underpin the work of the team and indeed the work of the network. So, four-stage model was one of our first attempts to try and outline what professional learning might look like. It's about individuals owning their own learning, driving forward, but moving towards a situation where they are collegial and can be part of a learning group that is bigger than just themselves. We also, as part of this Learning Together theme, we decided we needed to look for the very best educational thinkers from all over the world. People like Ellen Moore, like Terry Dozie, like Richard Elmore. We wanted to see what impact their research and their thinking could have in the Scottish context. And much of the work that you can find in this blog comes from that International Thought Leaders Programme. We also have a clear understanding about the need to focus on impact for children and young people as being a core part of our work. Nothing we do has any purpose unless it is about making a difference to the lives, the learning experiences that our children have. And that has got to be one of the values that has most impact on our work. We became aware also of the importance of leadership in all of this and how leaders develop and how we could support that nationally. And one of the ways that you will may be aware of is our work around the Flexible Route to Headship programme, where we took this idea of going back to basics around what is it that makes for a good head teacher. And we focused on the interpersonal bits of this. So the Flexible Routes programme is a coaching and mentoring programme. And we're already starting to see some really high quality graduates from that programme. At the very heart of this though, we hate sheep-dip CPD. What is sheep-dip CPD? Sheep-dip CPD is where we wheel people in, we tell them something, we count their heads and we wheel them off again, and we put a big tick to say that's fine. We don't like that from the CPD team or within the network. We're interested in something that is not just about courses. We're looking for a broad church of CPD practices. This would include things like coaching and mentoring, professional reading, study visits nationally and internationally, observing others, observing colleagues, shadowing colleagues, work shadowing. All these different ways in which people can learn and improve their practice are central to our model, our fairly robust model of teacher learning. So, we're now moving on to a new backdrop because with the development of GLOW Scotland, we began to understand better what TP21 meant in relation to 21st century. GLOW has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to develop a really strong digital presence. It's allowed us to break down barriers, to create equality of opportunity for educators regardless of where they are or what their context is. It gives colleagues the chance to do all sorts of new and innovative ways of learning. So, for example, joining a CPD community, taking part in CPD meets, looking at the CPD challenges and CPD shorts that are around, using CPD Find to find their own CPD, to take charge of their own learning in important ways. In recent months, we've had a new backdrop developing, which again is changing the way in which we look at our work and the things we do. The CPD team love Teaching Scotland's Future, the report that was published earlier on, late last year in 2010. We really were delighted at the way in which the Donaldson team, as they were developing this report, engaged with the team. They came to network meetings, they met the team on several occasions, and they're clearly interested in the models of learning and the ways in which we had worked in the past and the ways in which that could then form part of the 50 recommendations. We now think that Teaching Scotland's Future offers us a really strong challenge and a very meaty agenda for all the future work of the team as we move forward. So what can you do? Well, please join an online community. CPD Central would be the good place to start. Make sure you take charge of your own CPD, and a good place for that would be CPD Find. You'll find all sorts of things in there to challenge your thinking and move you forward. Maybe have a look at coaching and mentoring in your local authority. There's lots going on, lots happening, and lots of good opportunities, and it's a central skill that will help you develop. And if you haven't done so already, join the Learning Rounds, a new, innovative, creative way of learning together, of engaging with children's learning, and of taking the school as a community forward. And in conclusion, just please don't be a CPD sheep. Be a CPD leader.